Hi everyone, welcome back to our lesson. We are speaking about factors again. So in the last video you learned about what factors are, and so we're going to make sure you know what that is. So we're going to review your knowledge from the last lesson, and then we're going to go on to speak about common factors and the greatest common factor between two or more numbers. So let's keep going. What are factors? This is just review very quickly. The factors of a number are the numbers that divide into it exactly. That means no remainder. If I say 8 divided by 4, my answer would be 2. No remainder. Those are the factors. When you divide, no remainder. Okay, then we had a few examples. We've got 12 here. We know that 12 has 6 factors. 12 has 6 factors. That's 1 and 12. 2 and 6 and 3 and 4, or you could just list them in order, in ascending order or increasing order, completely up to you. So I like to pair them up because it's easy for me to remember. 1 times 12 is 12, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12. So those are the 6 factors of 12. Then we moved on to 15, a super easy one. We know 1 times 15 is 15, so those are the 2 factors. And 3 and 5. 3 times 5 is 15, so those are 2 more factors of 15. Okay, so that we've made sure we know what factors are now. Factors of a number are numbers that divide into a number equally. Okay, so here we go. Then we did some practice in on the little drawing pad again, where we listed all the factors that we could, and if you want we can do some more. So we didn't finish all of them, so let's try and do a few of the bigger numbers at the bottom. Okay, so here we are. We've done most of the numbers in the last video, so what I'm going to do is just start from the bottom here at 24. I've got a red color. I don't really want to use red. I'm going to use black. Okay, so let's list the factors of 24. I'm going to start at 1, and I'll write 24 over here. So we know it's 1 and 24. 2 and 12. 3 times what is 24? 3 times 8. 4 times what equals 24? 4 times 6. So there we go. We've finished it. We've got all the factors of 24. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just draw lines so you can see. It's 1 times 24, 2 times 12. So it's like a little upside down rainbow that I've got now. And you can see all these pairs of factors of 12. Okay. As you can see, the line is very unclear over here, so I'm just going to draw it in. The factors of 23, that's 1 and 23. So 23 only has 2 factors, number 1 and itself. So I'm going to do a green dot, and I hope you remember that, and I've given you the answer now. Okay, that was also one of the questions from your last video. Then we've got 22, so we've got 1 times 22, right, and 2 times 11. Okay, so this one's quite spread out. So 1 and 22, 2 and 11. Anything else? Nope. 21, we've got 1, 3, 7 and 21. So 21 has 4 factors. Okay, let's go to 19 over here. We can do 20. Let's do 20 actually. Okay, so we've got 1 and, let's do 1 and 20. Okay, so it's easy to just draw a line like that. 1 and 20. 2 and 10, right? 2 and 10. 3, no, not 3. 4, yes, 4 and 5. And there we go, we've got the factors of 20. We've listed all the factors of 20. Okay, now let's do one more. Let's do 17. That's 1 and 17. Only 2 factors there, number 1 and itself, so I am going to have to draw a little dot there so you can see. Okay, I hope that has refreshed your memory. Let's go back to the presentation and do a little bit more practice. Okay, so now we're going to speak about common factors. So we're moving on from the last lesson because we should know what factors are now. We're going to speak about common factors. Common is the same or shared. Okay, if I have a pen and you have a pen, we have something in common. We both have pens. Okay, if you are wearing a black shirt today and I'm also wearing a black shirt, we have something in common. Okay, we both have black shirts. If you're wearing a red shirt and I'm wearing a black shirt, we don't have that in common. Okay, it's not shared. If I have an apple, you have an apple, we have something in common. We both like to eat apples. Okay, we both have an apple. That's common. Shared, okay, all the same. So what is a common factor? Let's see. It says a common factor is a number that can be divided into two different numbers. Okay, so let's use an example. I have two numbers, number 10 and number 20. What is one number that both of these can divide into with no remainder? 1, right? Yes. 1 can go into 10. Yes. 1 can go into 20. Perfect. 2. 1 can go into 2 can go into 10 and 2 can go into 20. 2 is a common factor of 10 and 20. One more. 5. Number 5. 5 can go into 10 2 times and 5 can go into 20 4 times. That means that number 5 is a common factor between or of 10 and 20. Okay. A common factor is a number that can be divided into two different numbers without leaving a remainder, no remainder. Often numbers can share more than one common factor. It's okay to have more than one common factor. In fact, it's normal. Very, very often. It is possible to find common factors for more than two numbers. Now, we can even do more than two numbers. Okay, if I had 10, 20, and 60, okay, I can still find common factors for each of those. But they have to be common for all three numbers. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here I've got a Venn diagram. This was something that I think we did in grade 4. Maybe grade 4, maybe you did in grade 3. Okay, a Venn diagram is like all of the information for number 8 would go into this circle over here. So this part over here, this circle is for number 8. And then over here, number 12 is the darker orange circle, right? But in between, you can see there's a different shade here. These are where the common factors will go, or something that they share. That means they have it in common. Okay, right. So let's go to the drawing board. Okay, here we are. We're going to be listing all the common factors of 8 and 12 in this Venn diagram. Okay, if they have something shared or in common, they'll go in the middle section. If not, all of this only belongs to 12. All of this on the lighter color only belongs to 8. Okay, so I'll start off with number 1, right? Number 1 can go into 8. And it can go into 12. 2, okay, these are even numbers, so I know 8 divided by 2 is 4. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, so I know that means I've got 6 over here. 6 cannot divide with no remainder, so it's just a factor of 12. Then I said 4, remember 2 and 4, right? 2 and 4. 2 and 4 goes into 8, but 4 also goes into 12 3 times, so that is 3. 3 cannot go into 8, so here we go. And then I've got 8 over here and 12 over here. So I've really mixed it up. But let me get a lighter color very quickly. Okay, so I'll list all the common factors of 12 over here so that you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, right? Okay, these are common. I'll circle them to help you. 1, 2, 4, and 8. So there we go. We've got 1. So I've put it in the center there. Okay, 2, 2, 2. So I've put it in the center there. I'm happy with that. Happy with that. 4. Yes, I've got 4. Yes, I've got 4. I've put it in the center. Yes. Okay. Now you can see the 8 is on this side. It's only for this number 8 here. Let me go this. I'm going to use a different color so that you can see. Okay, just so you can see. These are all on number 12 side. You don't have to do all of these. Don't do all of these lines. Only the black writing is perfect. But I'm just trying to show you. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, here we are. We're with the next one right now. So we just completed this one over here. We're going to try and do this one. So we've got 12 and 9. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to use a white color and write on this orange part over here. So I've got all the factors of 12. I don't know, I'm trying to make this just a bit thicker. So that's 1. Don't like, it's not thick enough. Okay, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 and 12. Right, these are the factors of 12. The factors of 9, 1 and 9 and 3. So 1 times 9 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, now you can see, I'm going to use a darker color again because the light isn't as clear as I was hoping. So we've got 1 here, we've got 1 here. Okay, that means that that's a common factor, right? I'm going to switch to black, so 1 goes in the middle. 3, you can see 3 is there. 3 is there as well. So 3 is a shared factor between 12 and 9. Now there's no 9, but 9 is a factor of 9. And then all the rest of these numbers go on number 12's side, but not in the middle. Why not in the middle? Because they're not common. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, here we are. We have another one. We've successfully completed 2 Venn diagrams very beautifully. We're going to try one now with 3 numbers. We've got 14, 20, and 16. Okay, what are the factors of 14? I'm going to go with the white color here again. I've got 1 and 14, 2 and 7. Okay, let's do 20 over here. I'm going to do 20 at the bottom here. 1 and 2 and 4, 5. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. There we go. 10 and 20. And then I've got 16. 1, 2, 4, 8. 20. Oops, 16. There we go. Okay, I hope everybody can see that. We've got 1 times 16 is 16, 2 times 8 is 16, and 4 times 4. So you can see very, very clearly here. I know all my factors. Okay, let's go. Let's use a white color now. Go with the white over here. Okay, so let's see which numbers are in common. So between 14 and 20, 1 and 2. Between 14 and 16, 1 and 2. So all of them share 1 and 2. Right? Everybody happy with that? 1, 2, I need to use a different color, I think. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So you can see 1 and 2 go exactly in the middle over there, right? This is the shared space between 20 and 16. This is the shared space between 14 and 16. This is the shared space between 14 and 20. Okay, let's see. Now let's do, I'm going to go for a blue color. I can see that no other numbers. First of all, I can see no other numbers are shared between the others. So 7 and 14 go into 14's little thing. Okay, 20. 4, I've got a 4, so I'm just going to use a different color to show you here. I've got 2 4s that's shared between 4 and 16, so that would go into this section over here, as you can see, because it's shared between 20 and 16, right? Okay, any other numbers? No. Okay, so that means that I can just continue writing 8 over here and 16 over here in 16's purple little circle, and then over here on this side 5, 10 and 20. Okay, that one is a tiny bit confusing, only because there's so many shared spaces, but we know that the very middle, you can use your brain, you know, just look at the picture. What is it telling you? Okay, now here we are. We've been practicing. We have a better idea of what common factors are. We've finished all of this. We think we know better. Okay, here we go. Find the greatest common factor of 20 and 25. So what we're going to do is we're going to list all the factors of 20. We're going to list all the factors of 25. And then we're going to say which common factor is the greatest. You know, greatest means the biggest. Okay, remember when we order numbers and it says start with the greatest number, that means start with the biggest number. You know that. So finding the greatest common factor. If you want to over here, it's more commonly we'll speak about it as the GCF, the greatest common factor. Okay, let's use a black color here. So we've got 1 and 20, we know. We've got 2 and 10, okay, we know. And lastly, we've got 4 and 5. Here we go again. We've got 1 and 25, and 5 times 5 is 25. These are all our factors. Which are common factors? I'm going to use a red color to circle the common factors. Which numbers are the same for both numbers? Which factors are the same for both numbers? So I've got 1, and then I've got 5. There we go. Which is the greatest common factor? The greatest common factor is 5. Easy peasy. So I'll ask you 2 questions when we're practicing. I'll ask you, what is the common factor? You tell me the common factors between 2 numbers, maybe even 3 numbers. Then I'll ask you, what is the greatest common factor? Which common factor is the biggest between 2 numbers, or maybe even 3 numbers? Okay, let's keep practicing. We're working at the bottom over here. We're doing number 2 now. It says, find the greatest common factor of 28 and 12. So number 1, we did that one. We're happy with it. We're all happy with it. There we go. Perfect. Okay, we're all happy with that. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we are going to do it for 28 and 12. Okay, so I know I have 1 and 28. 1 times 28 is 28. 2 times 14 is 28. 2 times 14 is 28. And 4 times 7 is 28. So these are all the factors of 28. Now you'll remember the 6 factors of 12. That's 1 and 12. That's 2 and 6. And lastly, 3 and 4. Right, I'm going to go in with, let's use an orange color to match the background. I'm going to circle the common factors. So firstly I've got 1. I know that one, that's a given. 1 goes into every number. 2 goes into all even numbers. Okay, so there we go. 4, I've got 4. Not 3, but 4. Okay, I'm going to stop now because I can see none of the other numbers are the same. Okay, that means that the greatest common factor between 28 or of 28 and of 12 is number 4. Okay, perfect. I hope that helps you. I hope that you enjoyed the practice that we did. I would suggest you trying to do this on your own. So have a look at mine. Use your own two numbers. Take away my numbers, put your own numbers, and try to do a Venn diagram to practice. Okay. For homework today, I am going to give you a worksheet with only 3 questions. Only 3 questions. If you want to do more practice, you can start in your workbook. Honestly, if you want to, you can. But we're just going to go through this for now. So I'm gonna link the worksheet so that you can see it on the forum. You can access it, you can download it. If you don't want to, you can just get a piece of paper and read and then write the answers. You can copy this down in your book and then take photos and send it to me. You don't have to print this out. If you don't have a printer, you can still do the work, right? Okay. Question 1 says, list and circle the common factors for each given set. So for A, I've got 12 and 26. Circle the numbers that are the common factors. For B, I've got 35 and 28. Circle the common factors. For C, I've got 30 and 40. Circle the common factors. Okay. Question 2, list the greatest common factor for each set. So I've given you a line here where you can write all the factors if you want to. And then on the small line over here for each set, for A, for B, for C, what is the biggest common factor? What is the greatest common factor? Okay. And lastly, over here in these Venn diagrams, can you find any common factors between 15 and 18? The common factors go in the middle here. All the factors of 18 that are not common go here. All the factors of 15 that are not common go here. And then the last question. I've given you factors and I've told you only 2 are common, number 1 and number 2. What are these numbers? What are these factors of? These are factors of what number? These are factors of what number? Okay, that is all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.